Hello, and welcome. I'm Ram Flores, streaming live from this beautiful day. Looks like spring here, even though it's winter here, geographically winter. Hello, Gemma. Nice to be here, joining this imaginary circle. I love to play with this. I'm in front of this machine, but at the same time, I can imagine you around, uh, listening each other to this encounter. Well, today I want to bring you this very interesting topic, which I call animal call. I've been for some years exploring. I think maybe it's in my essence to explore through our body. We were exploring for the last 5 years this language of Kancha Andean yoga, and most of the ritual movements, as we used to call it, are engaging with these natural shapes, natural patterns, and especially the animal movements. And I have a story related to this. I had a very deep, intimate relationship I have with a very beautiful community in the high Andes called Queros Nation. And in these communities, I had many stories of the intimate life of a peasant or of a farmer in the high Andes. One day, they said to me something that it was very difficult for me to understand. We were talking about the alpacas. They used to uh, raise alpacas and llamas, look after them, and obviously they have issues with the puma. The puma is the cougar, kills the young alpaca, so they have problems with pumas. But the thing is, I was talking about them looking how they look after the alpacas, and I asked them, "How about the puma?" And this guy says, "Don't mention him. What are you talking about? We don't need to mention puma, the word puma, because he or the animal can listen to us, and we can call them just by naming him." And I was thinking, what is this person saying? I mean, this animal can actually understand human language. Even it could be more difficult to listen that we are calling him by naming the animal. And that was like spinning in my head, my lack of understanding. And the thing is, I was dealing with reality in a complete different relationship with the landscape. For me, because I grew up, maybe as you, in these Western societies, hegemonic, dominant, patriarchalist society, rational societies, where there are some boundaries on what can we engage with and what is just something made up in our mind, right? But they live in a completely different environment and completely different way to engage with the environment. They live in, I like this metaphor, like in a living tapestry, like a living fabric, where we are all connected each other. And if I mention the presence of the puma not with its ears, but somehow the puma can listen to me. So if I mention him, I'm saying him, but actually could be him, her. If I mention Puma is going to come. Puma is going to get my alpacas, or to be in presence. You're going to challenge us. So if you live in this living tapestry, what is the quality that you can and you must use to engage with this living tapestry, with the living web, with this living fabric? It's feeling. Well, feeling is the most important attribute, sensitivity, of a farmer, of an artist, of a good mother and father, a person who wants to connect with the other. You have to enhance the qualities of feeling. One of the main differences between the cultures in any city in the world and the people who still live depending on the land, living in the land, from the land, with the land, is that here in the cities we are running, we're doing all the time. We're just in an alienated acceleration through achieving our goals, getting what we want, and taking painkillers to avoid feeling our body, taking caffeine to accelerate the rhythm of our body, taking drugs, any kind of drugs, to enhance our performance, right? In the other hand, people living in the mountains, for instance, they work just a bit of time. I read somewhere that people in the countryside, they work 30% of their time, and the rest of the time, between sleeping and enjoying and relaxing and contemplating, the rest of the time is used to feel. To feel what? To tune ourselves into the common fabric, the community. I have 30% of individuality. I'm doing what I need to survive, to get food, to get money, to get whatever I need for me. But the rest of the time, I expand myself into the experience, and that's a very important word, experience of feeling, to be tuned, then to be guided by this conversation, this dialogue, and then to inhabit this body, this place, these conditions, the people who lives with me, the trees, the animals, the stones. So how we can finally engage into this feeling, into this experience, enhancing, accepting, and developing sensitivity. And how this sensitivity happens in this animal, the sensitivity happens through our body. Corporalize, corporalized experience. Well, that's a very posh way to say live as human beings. We are animals and we live in the landscape we live, in the place we live as animals. Well, it sounds silly to say this, but actually, we have been learned from childhood that there's a very clear boundary between human beings, animals, and the rest of the beings. Sometimes we can call them plants or even rocks. But there's a very clear difference between human beings and animals. A boundary built by ideas, concepts, philosophy. We live in an anthropocentric culture. The center of our vision is human beings, but not any human beings. And that's always, I like to clarify this. Not any human beings, me. This culture is based on the idea, just an idea, that everything spin in around the center. This center is me. Anthropocentric. It is maybe uh, better said egocentric culture. Obviously, that position, that individualistic position, take us away from the rest. And what is the rest? Well, we used to call it nature. We distance ourselves from everything else. And we give the authority, we first in an arrogance position, in a superiority position, because our myths, our religions, our philosophy is built upon this idea, the human being in the center of the world, in the center of the existence. Everything else is related to us as an object. Everything is to be used by me, not by us, by me. I am the son of God. I am the daughter of God. Well, it sounds strange because why? What sounds strange? Because this cosmovision, hegemonic cosmovision, is patriarchal, is masculine, is related to men winning wars and imposing ideas. That's why the Son of God sounds like more common. But look, many people challenged these ideas and they were confronting it by sensitivity, by reading the consequences of this cosmovision, like Nietzsche, Deleuze-Guattari, French psychoanalysts, Derrida, philosopher, Donna Haraway, American philosopher. Many people trying to find out this obsession we have to take us out, especially from animal kingdom. denying subjectivity to all of the beings around us, and especially getting us away from the other animals, not other, the animals. Even animal is used as an adjective, as a pejorative adjective, like an insult. You're an animal. Well, yes, I am an animal. I look like an animal, actually. Like a bit strange animal, but an animal. Well, how strange? Why human beings are so special? That's a very important question. Oh, yeah. We have soul. We have soul and spirit and soul spirit. Well, that's a good question. And the rest of the animals doesn't have it. Okay, right. No, no. We have cognition, right? We have cognition. So we are different for that. Really? I'm not answering it. I'm just pushing you to ask yourself. Oh, no. The thing is that the human beings have consciousness. Really? What is consciousness? The other day I was looking a very interesting lecture on consciousness by Yuval Harari. Very interesting, saying that consciousness is the ability to suffer. Then any animal could suffer, even a plant could suffer. So all of beings are conscious. But no, no, it should be the language, right? We human beings have language, and the rest of the other animals don't have. Okay, but I don't know if you can listen this. I'm listening to birds right now. Is it a kind of language? The whales doesn't have a language. Well, it's a bit confusing, isn't it? So, what's actually the difference between this and this being? I'm not saying animal because I don't want to offend anyone. This being and the animals, especially animals. Well, the human beings used to expand their control and subjugation and slavery, domination, and exploitation of the rest of the beings. Well, that's just a vision, but you are following what I'm saying. This is a very special one. The rest of the animals, they have something very peculiar that we used to use this word in a diminishing way. Animals have instincts, right? So historically, we used to use that word instincts to relate to an aggressive, irrational, chaotic behavior. But actually, instinct is something completely different. Instinct organize behavior in animals, organize, harmonize, push them to some kind of balance between individuality and collectiveness, right? Isn't it? If a single animal eats too much, the instincts will call the animal to rest, or to stop to eat, or to stop to kill, or to run away, or to breed. All these behavioral conditions are ordering them for what? For thriving, for life thriving, for abundance, for harmony, for balance, right? Isn't it? If there's any uh, biologist listen to me, maybe he could or she could understand what I'm saying. But it's not difficult to understand this. Instincts order the behavior. Do you follow your instincts? Most of the people could say, no, I'm not an animal. I think. Okay, right, you think. When you have, when you're hungry, right? When you're hungry, do you eat, or you eat at specific times of the day, or when you are allowed to do it in your workflow? Or you go to sleep when you're tired, or when something else push you to do it? So actually the instincts are present in our bodies. Instincts are force that through our body we interact with, first having a living body, which is all the time changing, getting tired, getting hungry, aging, right? And at the same time, instincts allow us to connect with the rest of our reality. So instincts call us to engage with some people, and instincts call us to come away from some people. We don't know why, but that happens. Instincts make us pay attention to some situation. Instincts help us to relax in some other situations. So if instincts are present in ourselves, it's a very important part of human experience, then why not to call us with proud animals? So animal is not something to overcome, but something to embrace, something to uh, explore, something to celebrate. I've been reading for some time a very interesting outcast from psychoanalysis called James Hillman. Very interesting guy, very funny. And he is, in some of his writings, pushing all the time to recover this archetypal connection with reality. Like reality has some kind of patterns, especially seen in animal behavior, especially seen in animal behavior. And that's not something out of the mind of one person. If you go into the old traditions, all the traditions were in love with animals, not just in love, devoted to animals. As human being were devoted to animals, the gods had shapes, behaviors, even colors, names of animals. The animal help us. This is funny. I had just a monkey very close to me. I don't know if you can see. Well, it's in a branch. Where is it? It's here. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm gonna come here so you can listen to me and see the monkey. Oh, he came out. So, for instance, monkeys. Well, we have some qualities. The monkeys, they have all the kind of qualities, and those qualities remind us some aspects, forgotten aspects of ourselves, or hidden aspect of ourselves. So the animal complements, give us as a gift a part of reality that we can't see just by being human beings. So the archetypal animals helped us from ages to recognize the sacred relationship with nature. But not just from psychology, from philosophy. Don Haraway, for example, used to have this beautiful concept in relationship with animals as a family, as our companions, as the the concept is symbiosis, like doing together. We do together this living in the landscape. So we need each other. I need these monkeys for them to eat the bananas or the cashew nuts around my garden. I need the worms. I need the cockroach. I need the rats. I need the grasshoppers. I need all of them because they need me as well. We need each other as a family. In the old traditions, I mean, old traditions is a funny way to say it. The traditions that are living with the land, in the land, from the land, as I said earlier. They used to have, especially in the traditions that I'm involved, which is the Andean, specifically Keros tradition. They have a very uh, close connection with sacred archetypes. The animal, not as a symbol, not as a representation, but a living manifestation of wisdom, of guidance, of power, of heal. That's why the shaman interacts as a bridge between the archetypal force and the one who is suffering. Talks, dialogues create a bridge, incarnate sometimes the spirit of an animal. And from the ritual, from the altered consciousness, gets into some aspect that from the partial human experience, we cannot see it. We need that perception. That's why we love them. So, and this is a very childhood thing. From childhood, maybe the first connection with others, other than our mother or father, is animals. The toys, the icons, the drawings are related to animals. Well, maybe in the last generations, the recent generations, we are taking our children out of animal kingdom, but actually we need to bring them back, assuming a new vision, integrating human beings into the vast tapestry, living tapestry, into the vast living tapestry. Human beings as other animal, like any other, bringing this special relationship between animals as sacred, fundamental, essential. And well, this sounds very beautiful, but how can we do it? Well, this is the how thing. Well, all spins around this word, feeling, sensitivity. So we can recognize first, not as a concept, but as an experience. Recognize being an animal. I'm wearing a shirt. I'm wearing some hair in some shape. I shaved myself. Those are just human languages, right? Social languages of acceptance. But I have the need, for instance, of take out all my clothes because the sun is hitting me and it's hot. My instincts says, as I'm sweating, I need to take out the clothes, or I need to go to the shade, right? To the shadow. Well, that recognition of the instinct, the animality, the corporality of our experience is essential. And from that, from feeling our body, from uh, expanding the perceptions of this body with this story, with these qualities. Some of them are great, some of them are not very well. I'm aging as you. I have some issues, for instance, with my liver, others with the kidneys, others with the lungs, with the right arm, with the left foot, right? This is my body, and this is how I enact, create reality. This is a very interesting approach from a neurobiologist called Francisco Varela. From the body, we enact life. So reality is a communication between beings. When I say beings, it's not just animals, it's not just plants, it's everything alive. We recreate, co-create reality. So perceiving our cycles, perceiving our qualities, perceiving our rhythms, perceiving our cycles, our instincts as a compass, as a guide to take decisions. And other advice I would love to give you to enhance and live this animal code is to move. Well, this is a very important quality of any animal. We move. Plants move in a different way, very slowly. But these animals, this expression of Pachamama, as we want to call it, the mother of life, the mother of existence, this animal, this expression moves, so move around, but not move just with a name. Don't move working. Move poetically, non-verbally, trying to use this movement as a tool of engagement with your landscape, with the air, with the earth, with the sun, with the stars, with the other beings, with the other human beings. Moving could be dancing, moving could be yoga, tai chi, swimming, sports, anything. But remembering that moving could be a tool of exploring your animality. Another fact of an animal, not the Son of God, but an animal is the impermanence, the finitude. We are aging and we are going to die. I'm sorry to say that. So that animal reality of fragility, vulnerability is a very animal quality. Remember that you can die not at 90, 100 years old, but maybe next minute. Remembering that is inhabiting being an animal, a finite animal, impermanent animal. Or the quality of that you can practice is interaction with other actual animals, like the monkeys around my garden, or your pets, or the birds, or any kind of animals, wild or humanized, well, not humanized, how to say that, domesticated animals. Well, sounds like humanized. Uh, Interacting with animals without judgment, without humanizing them, without even trying to understand them as human beings. Just connection, open connection, challenging all hidden hierarchies in our head that put us in a superior, arrogant position. Can we do that? It's a very interesting exercise. Not humanizing animals, trying to accept them as they are, giving them the respect of subjectivity. They are subjects, not objects. That's something dignifying. And obviously, as we do this, naturally, we're going to embrace diversity of bodies, of behaviors, of cognition, of consciousness, and that comes as well as different cognitions inside human species. This acceptance comes as a big embrace to everything, to everyone, and enjoy that, falling in love of diversity, falling in love of possibilities, coming back to community, horizontal community. Metal bird common. And as we do this, as we embrace diversity, we embrace community. Community is not just other persons, other people living around me. Community is everything around me, especially animals. I live in a place in a tropical uh, weather and surrounded by plants like a jungle. So we live with a lot of wild animals, and that brings a challenge to us because we want to respect, but at the same time we want to live as human beings. So that's a dialogue, finding the limit of the cockroaches, finding the limits of the mosquitoes, how much I can respect them, their life, they, they, their expression, how much I can accept the appearance of birds when they sing so loud in the morning time, and they wake up, they wake me up. There's no right and wrong answer. There is dialogue and a permanent challenging your boundaries, your human boundaries, to make them more embracing, more loose, more expanded. Every time we contract our boundaries, we start to kill everything around us, right? So this is a very important exercise to explore this expansion until we finally could, just maybe in a little glance, feel what is the interbeing, the big animal, the great animal. Like everything around me is an animal. And I'm talking about it specifically because we have our experience comes in an animal shape way because we have a body. This body gives us an animal experience. So the existence is animal. Like Pachamama is the mother animal. Like everything, even the sun, everything is an animal. So it's very important to bring questions. I would like, at least for you that you're listening, to ask questions about it, to break the obvious, to bring some debate inside yourself, to ask, to challenge your positions with your pets, challenge your positions with wild animals. For instance, mosquitoes. Oh, we need to kill them all. Do we? Flies, or the repugnant animals like cockroaches or spiders. We have this very obsessive and distorted relationship with spiders, with snakes. Do we want to kill them all, or can we embrace them? How close can we embrace living with the animals, with the other animals? That brings that questions brings us, as we mentioned it, to other human beings. The same thing. As we expand our community, we will expand it to everything, to everyone in our landscape, and maybe we can change our vision and recovering some kind of at least dialogue with nature. Well, I appreciate your time and your patience to listen to us, and I would love to invite you to practice Kai Kanchiri Andean Yoga with us in our YouTube channel. You can, if you follow us and look for videos, you're gonna find some English videos, not all of them English and Spanish, but you're gonna find some experience in English. And I'm going to organize a seminar related to animal guides in 18th, 19th, and 20th of July, right? So this is going to be an online event. I'm going to send you all the information in the groups, in the WhatsApp groups, and in Instagram. So you'll find all the information in the next few days. And well, at least I would like you to look at your body and feel you sweating, you getting hungry, you getting tired, you getting in love as human animal experience. Human animal experience. So I hope these words gave you something at least to think about. And I hope to see you next time in this YouTube channel or in this place if you want to visit us whenever you want. Or maybe I'm going to visit you. Why not? So I hope to see you next time. And big hug, big animal hug. See you next time.